And if Miki writes something, I know he writes it in a way that I can also see eye to eye. And of course, I do some tinkering around, and I make it even more personal for me. That's the way you can then hear the emotion in the voice while I'm singing these things. So I have nothing but fun memories from Spain. It's just the way you enjoy music, the way you interact with us when we're on stage, because I always love making the crowd be a part of the show. And so I throw you energies and you throw it right back at me. It's amazing.
This is Tony Gonzalez from Made in Metal, and today we are talking to Hannes Kett, who is the singer in Shiraz Lane. Hello, Hannes, how are you?
Good evening. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. So we are here because there are two reasons. One is that even when In Vertigo was released some months ago, you recently released a new video. And second, because next April you will be here in Spain.
Oh yes, finally. I've always loved playing Spain, and now we got two shows coming up. Very, very excited.
We are going to start speaking about the recording because, for example, in Vertigo sounds like Shiraz Lane's most ambitious work to date. How did the overall concept for the album come about, and what did the title means to you?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that you enjoy our album. Um, it started as they usually do. We just started writing songs with Miki and Yanni. And this time around with the album, um, we had more time to spend together. So it was just the three of us, and we just started recording our demos and recording a ton of our demos. I think we had around 30 songs that could have ended on the album. And this time around, as well as we had the time, we are, well, we're brothers. So we decided to just spend as much as we need on the album. And I think you can hear it on the arrangements, you can hear in the melodies, and of course, the fact that we then had our good friend, our producer, Per Aldeheim, also a part of this project now. He helped us to find the small good pieces, to make something rough a diamond. And we just realized that while we were writing the songs that, hey, we feel like we have an album coming. We start writing songs with the idea of writing an album, but the songs just kept on coming, and we ended up with a bunch of them. And here we are now.
You mentioned Per Aldeheim, and to
Mhm.
what extent did he, as producer and co-writer, influence the final sound?
Of course, a lot. Ever since we started working with him during the writing process of Carnival Days, our second album, we learned a lot from him when it comes to songwriting and production in general. And this time around, as we are way more experienced than before, we were able to put all that knowledge into the demos already and have pre-produced bigger tracks in the demo part already. So the demo sounded production-wise better than some of the stuff that we released previously. And as we then had our demos, we took them and sent them to Per, and actually had some writing sessions in Sweden, Stockholm as well with him, to just talk about and discuss the songs and just write some more stuff with him. And as it's always been, it was an easy ride because it's quite simple to work with someone that's got the same vision as you. And as a producer, he respects our vision, but also brings out his own ideas. And this time around, it really, really worked out in a different way, even better than before, because we already had this vision in our mind of the soundscape that we want to create. And also, when it comes to the soundscape, it's not just the production, it's also our mixing engineer Rami Nykänen who worked on this, who's done a lot of stuff here in Finland, who really brought some more modern qualities to the soundscape and the album. So what Per does is he listens to us. He either likes it or doesn't like it, but he's willing to take the time to pursue our vision and pursue our ideas. And sometimes something he doesn't like becomes something he loves, because once you understand what we're going trying to come up with and trying to write, that it takes some time sometimes. And he really understands the craft of musicianship and being an artist, and he lets us be ourselves.
Hi, I'm Tony Gonzalez, and this is Made in Metal. If you are passionate about rock and metal, this channel is your home. Here we celebrate the musicians, songwriters, and producers who have made history. We have already interviewed some incredible artists, and with your subscription, we can go even farther. Your support gives us visibility, open doors, and allows us to keep creating powerful, authentic content. Subscribe, share, and be part of this metal loving community. Thanks for being here, and let the good rock keep rolling. There is a clear emotional charge in tracks like Plastic Heart, and I
Mhm.
would like to ask you, where does that sensitivity in your lyrics come from?
It comes from everyday life, as it's always been songwriting and lyric writing, especially for me and Miki as we write our lyrics. It has to come from the heart and the soul. And if Miki writes something, I know he writes it in a way that I can also see eye to eye. And of course, I do some tinkering around, and I make it even more personal for me. That's the way you can then hear the emotion in the voice while I'm singing these things. And with this song in particular, Plastic Heart, it was a situation, a scenario, a discussion that I had a couple of years back, and that inspired the whole idea, the theme of the song, because we had this raw rocking instrumental, and as we were in the demo studio, I came up with this theme because in the back of my mind there was something I wanted to get off my chest, and it was about these kind of people that I sing about in Plastic Heart. So it came to a conversation that wasn't very pleasant from a quite a shallow person, and I just decided that, well, I'm gonna take this theme and give it a Shiraz Lane spin, and what I sing there is what I feel. That's why I hear the raw, aggressive even nature in those vocals and in the words, because I mean every single word.
Plastic Heart was one of the singles. The other
Hmm.
were Dangerous and Bullshit. And when you listen the three songs, one behind the other, they showcase three very different sides of the album. How did you choose them as introductions?
Well, exactly that. We thought that we wanted to show different parts of the different emotional scale within the album. So that's why the the singles are completely different from each other. And that was the main reason, because as always, when it comes to our albums and songs, there's quite a lot of depth there. And we wanted to present this part for the audience as well, because usually, especially in this modern age, people they do have time 24 hours a day, but because we're taught and programmed in a way to just, enjoy fast food entertainment and enjoy doom scrolling and stuff like this, they usually just listen to the singles. They might buy the album, they might listen to it, but mostly they're just listening to the singles. So we wanted to give the audience in-depth perspective of what our album has to offer. And then as they listen to the singles, they either like it or they don't. But it might spark some interest in them to then listen to the whole album, and then they realize what kind of band we are. Because every single time you release some music, you don't only release music for your old listeners and your old friends, fans and friends, but also to a new public that might find you through this new music. And that's exactly what we wanted with our latest album, because I feel there's a beautiful dance between pop and rock, because it's more melodic and poppy than ever, but at the same time, there are some very dark themes and some very dark vibes in some songs as well.
I'm interested in the visual direction of the music videos.
Hmm.
When you are going to film a video, did you participate in the plot, the direction, or the take decision, the band take decision? Tell me, how has
Oh
been
yeah.
these videos?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. When it comes to Shiraz Lane, for the most part, we've always been a do-it-yourself kind of band because when it comes to videos and stuff like this, you need lots of budget, and the budget is not there, to be honest. And so we need to figure out creative ways how to do this. So with these videos that we did, two of them we filmed with our friend Juho Virinkoski, who is a live photographer but also a music video maker. And so he did Dangerous and Bullshit as well. And then for Stone Cold Lover, we actually used some live clips and also filmed some studio stuff with our friend Pekka Keränen. Of course, while we do it, we have a clear vision of what we want, but we also respect the artistic value of whoever we're working together with. And then we find the best of both worlds. So once we have an idea, that's how we start shooting it. And then we, of course, listen to whoever we're working with because they also see the project from a different angle. So we know what we want, and then we start working towards it, but also very open to ideas while we're doing it.
Stone Cold Lover is the new video. Are you thinking of releasing another video of this recording, or the next will be with the next recording?
We'll see. It all depends on what we want to do because what we realized from social media, music videos, and just music clips in general that have they sort of look like music videos. Those are the ones that visually capture people to actually take the moment to go through the social media feed. So we might, but we have no plans right now. But I don't see a reason why we shouldn't do that because if we think about the music videos that we've released, we've got Dangerous, we've got Bullshit. Well, before that, we had Live a Little More, and now Stone Cold Lover. If we have the possibility, why not release as many videos as possible? Because those are things that people enjoy.
From Be the Slave or Be the Change to today, the band has evolved considerably. What aspect of your original sound do you still consider essential?
Well, I mean, you can hear the original sound if you listen to Be the Slave or Be the Change, and then you listen to In Vertigo. Um, what's mainly evolved is the way we work. So we've realized that we don't need to spend months in the rehearsal space working on one song. Nowadays, when it's possible to actually demo your ideas quite in a quite fast manner, it's possible to do so. And if once you make a demo, you can actually listen to the demo and start rewriting it. And that's what we did with all these songs as well. Every song had at least two drafts of demos, and then we had a pre-production draft and then the final one. So that's mainly changed. But if you listen to Be the Slave or Be the Change, that's the same band, but just a bit younger. Now with in Vertigo, I think you can hear the experience and well, you can feel the fact that we've lived life and seen quite a lot throughout our years because, well, lyric-wise, you can put it into the songs, but also emotionally and emotion-wise, let's say Plastic Heart on one side and the Money Talks on one side. Both are aggressive. The other one is a bit naive, but aggressive. So Money Talks. Plastic Heart, I got more perspective to life and to different people around me. Same kind of vibe though, still.
So, in my personal point of view, I can see that you were at the beginning happier, and now the sound is darker in some cases.
If you think about our first album, um, um, and I'm talking about For Crying Out Loud, we actually had some very dark themes there as well. Bleeding, for instance, is a very dark bluesy track, but you can't really hear it because the production that we ended up with on that whole album is, well, let's just say that I'm happy that our second album, Carnival Days, had the production right, because there you can hear the different emotions. If you think about House of Cards or other songs there as well, there's lots of dark themes there as well. But we definitely wanted to go for a darker vibe in general when it came to this album, because when we wanted to play around with having those happy poppy melodies at some points, but also then have these darker tones to it, because I find that's a fascinating texture and a combination. But yeah, sure. I mean, I guess it's the perspective of life that's given us so much more depth when it comes to the music. Because when you're writing songs and and naively thinking that you're going to be Skid Row as you usually do in your teenage years, you might write these songs that you feel are very cool. And we obviously were able to do those kind of songs there out there somewhere. One of my favorite songs to this day because it's so happy. We actually wrote some extremely happy songs for this album as well, but they just didn't fit the album dynamics. So we had to skip some really, really, really great songs because they just didn't go into the darker vibe, if you know what I mean. So we still have that happy bunny vibe in us, and we still write those songs as well. But I guess the reason why we left them out for this album was because we wanted those darker themes there.
Yes. Well, no, no. Your voice has become one of the most recognizable hallmarks of Nordic hard rock. How do you maintain that balance between power and melody that defines your singing style?
Well, I gotta say, when it comes to obviously, I'm talking about our latest release in Vertigo. I am maybe the most happy with it because this time around, as we started demoing all our ideas straight away, it gave me lots of leeway to just concentrate on the melodies in a different way. So I was able to put a lot more melodic ear candy into all the songs, more hooks, but also more beautiful melodies. I've always been, actually, some of my friends call me a melody whore because I love melodies. I love harmonies. And sometimes it's tough though. Definitely in some of the previous songs from previous albums, there's been times that we had like an instrumental set in stone. So that's what it was, and I had to try to write the melodies around the chord progressions that we had and around the instrumental. This time around, we took the different perspective. So yes, we wrote these songs, but the melody was key. So if something didn't fit, we changed things around the melody. So we had some instrumentals and some song ideas that completely changed. We decided that we're just gonna keep this one part of the song. So we had a 4-minute demo, and we decided to just keep the verse and then just start rewriting. And then we wrote a song around that verse, and then it just evolved naturally. So, yeah, I didn't really answer your question, but it's I think it's a fun challenge to find the balance between being very melodic, but also being a bit harsh and raw and aggressive at times. But I feel that you can definitely do both. And as you said, and as been has been mentioned to me before, our melodies are one part why we differ so much from many other rock bands from Scandinavia. And I just guess for me, as I write lots of the melodies, it just comes from the love of listening to lots of different kind of music. I don't only listen to rock music. I don't actually listen to lots of rock music. I listen to lots of soul. I listen to lots of 70s and 80s pop, 90s pop even. And I just enjoy in listening to music that makes me want to dance. And if you listen to, for instance, Come Alive, the song from In Vertigo, you can hear the funk groove melodies there. You can hear it in the harmonies, the 70s vibes. Just take things that you love, make it your own somehow, and just, create your music that you love. If you love it, then you've already succeeded. Most likely someone else will love it too.
So I pay attention to that song.
Hmm.
And yes, I hope that in the future you continue exploring this part of your side to say that way. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we will. It's just I love melodies. I need melodies. I need to have fun singing. So if I'm bored recording something, it's not gonna be good. It has to fulfill a certain scratch that I feel when it comes to music. That's why we write music, I guess, because we have to. It's a part of us. And for me, it's kind of like I have all these melodies within me, in my heart, in my soul, and I just need to let them out. Otherwise, I feel like I'm gonna explode.
You have toured much of the world, but you left a particularly strong impression in Spain.
Hmm.
What memories do you have of those concerts and the Spanish audience? And after your answer, I will give you my memory.
First of all, I've always loved Spain, and I remember back in school, we were forced to choose a language that that they teach us. So even though I'm Finnish, I'm a Swedish speaking Finn. So that means that my mother tongue is Swedish, so I'm already bilingual, and then English number three. In school, we didn't have lots of time to choose, so I chose German, even though I wanted to choose Spanish. And as I then got to come to Spain to play for our beautiful fans there, I realized straight away that all the rumors are true. So the fact that the way that you enjoy music and the way that you are open to dancing and just enjoying music in a different way than, let's say, Scandinavians and the people from up north, that's what surprised me. So I remember from our first, we did a small Spanish tour several years ago. And I just remember I had no idea where I was, but everyone that I met was super, super, super nice. You had great food, you had great wine, and the shows were amazing. And ever since then, as we've been able to come to Spain from time to time, doing some tours or just some shows here and there, it's always felt like coming home because you have the sun shining almost always. And if it's not shining, it feels like it is because the way you smile when we're on stage, it makes the day for us. So I have nothing but fun memories from Spain. It's just the way you enjoy music, the way you interact with us when we're on stage, because I always love making the crowd be a part of the show. And so I throw you energies and you throw it right back at me. It's amazing.
I remember, I'm not sure if it was the first or the second time you were here in Madrid, but I remember that you played in a club called Barracuda,
Barracuda, yeah.
that it was close to the Bullfighter Square, Ventas, and I was there, and I remember that maybe for you, the Norsemen, it was really difficult to come into the heat inside the club. We were all sweating, but even though you were jumping all the time, and the concert was extraordinarily energetic, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
from
That's
from
what we
this,
want to do.
yes,
We
from this moment on, Shiraz Lane, I think that a concert that you made will be always energetic.
Oh yeah. That's a part of us. It's always gonna be a part of us. And that just as I mentioned, it's the charge that I get from performing for our fans and then especially the Spanish fans, it's just different. And I feel like I'm a sun ablaze on the stage and I need to let out all the energy or I'll explode. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And last year I was so sad that we missed the festival that we were supposed to play because I got really sick and I was sent to the hospital and then we missed the huge festival there. It sucked, but I also knew that, well, we're gonna come back there at some point. Luckily, we were able to play the one festival, but now coming there and being able to spend there more than one day to enjoy your beautiful country, it's gonna be amazing.
Next April, you will be here in Spain at Revi Live in Madrid and Razzmataz in Barcelona. When you
Oh
come
yeah.
to Spain, have you time to visit the city or do some sightseeing?
I think this time around we're actually able to do that a bit. Not as much as what we'd like to, of course, because I'd like to also have a vacation there when possible. But For the time being now, what I know from the schedules, we're going to be able to see some of the city. And whichever time we have, we're going to take and enjoy to the max.
If you have to define in one sentence what in Vertigo represents for you and Shiraz Lane, what would it be?
A new beginning. It's a new beginning. It's a start of something new in Vertigo. That's definitely what it feels like for me and the band. Because this time around the songwriting we did in a completely different way. It felt more expressive that way because we were able to hang out more, me, Miki, and Yanni, and we were just able to write so much more in the period of time. Okay, we started writing the songs in 2023, at the beginning of 2023, but we saw each other once almost every week, once or twice every week, and just sat down, had coffee, had some fun, wrote songs. We did it every single week, and it felt, for me at least, it was one of those things that without that, the time period in my life could have been very, very hard. But I was able to do what I love most, which is write music and record and perform. And so it's definitely a new beginning, a start of something new. What the new is, I don't know, but we're just gonna keep on rocking forward and see where it takes us.
And the last question, and now that you were speaking about songwriting, do you already have new ideas or material in development, or are you going to let this album breathe fully before thinking about the next step?
I think it's fun that you actually asked this. Well, first of all, I think we have 20 songs, demos that we from the previous writing sessions that we have in the background, and we might take a new look at some of those and maybe rewrite and maybe think about the next album. But actually, I've now, after a small break, a couple of months of not thinking about Shiraz Lane, thinking about, everyday life, my kids, and life in general. Now these new ideas start popping into my head every single day. And I'm singing them to my phone. I'm writing them down, writing them down constantly. And at some point, we're gonna sit down with Yanni and Miki again and start writing. But I think what we need now is to enjoy playing these shows, but we also need some more perspective in life, some new experiences, maybe travel a bit as individuals, and then sit down and start writing songs. Because we just released this amazing album. Now we're gonna enjoy it. And but of course, the writing sessions and the writing part of the next album has already started. But now it's more in the gathering energies and information because once we sit down with the boys again, it's gonna take most of our time because even though I'm not in the studio, my mind is gonna be in the studio. My mind is constantly gonna be working on the songs, as will Yanni's and Mickey's as well. And I call the previous album the previous project, as it was very intense for us three, especially. Now we just need some time to breathe, enjoy and take some new things into life and just, enjoy waking up with a smile every day.
After your statement that in Vertigo means a new beginning, we will be expective waiting for the next recording, maybe next year, no? But
Oh, not
meanwhile,
next year.
yes, meanwhile, I hope to see you here in Madrid and enjoy the concert. Thank you
Oh,
very
thank
much
you
for
very
your
much.
time. And if you want to say something to finish the interview, this is your moment.
First of all, thank you to you for taking your time and giving it to me, and thank you for all the kind words. And same goes to our audience, our fans in Spain. I know you've been expecting us. Some of us did see us at our previous show, but you've been asking for just Shiraz Lane shows. Of course, we're gonna have an opening act there as well. But finally, we're able to come there. Finally, we're able to spend some more time with you, our dear loved fans there. I'm so excited, as are all the boys as well. We can't wait to come there and rock your asses off and maybe have some sangria afterwards. Can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
Can you imagine one day that you will have 60 years old fans?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Hannes, thank you very much. I hope to see you here in Madrid, okay?
Oh yeah. See you soon, brother. Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye.